Welcome, curious minds, to the Uncanny Valley podcast. Just take a second, close your eyes, and imagine this. Picture a world, right? But instead of oceans, you've got these ancient, massive trees, so tall their tops form these huge, rustling seas of leaves.
Yeah, and the ground, like solid earth. It's basically a myth, a fairy tale people tell.
Exactly. And ships, actual ships, are sailing through this canopy, through leaves and branches.
And the air itself, it's potent. It can literally change you, twist biology into forms that are, well, almost familiar, but deeply strange. Uncanny.
It's a place, isn't it, where everything you think you know about, well, reality.
Hmm.
What a world is, what life is, even memory. It just gets flipped completely upside down.
It really pushes the boundaries, yeah. Hits that uncanny feeling perfectly.
And today, that's where we're going. We're diving headfirst into this world. We're exploring the Wildsea, this tabletop role-playing game that builds this incredibly unique post-apocalyptic setting. It just perfectly embodies the uncanny part of our show's name.
Right. Our goal today is to pull out the most, mind-bending stuff, the really fascinating core ideas from this setting. It's so rich. We'll try to navigate its bizarre biology, dig into its forgotten past, meet the unique cultures living there.
And figure out how they actually survive, how they navigate this world that's been totally reborn.
Yeah, it should be some real aha moments, I think. Because this setting just takes so many familiar ideas and twists them. Makes you rethink what normal even means.
Okay, let's unpack this. What is it about the Wildsea that grabs you right away? What makes it so captivatingly strange from the start?
Well, what's really fascinating right from the get-go in the source material is how it takes basics like land and sea, things we just take for granted,
Yeah.
and it completely redefines them, just throws the rule book out. It forces you, the reader, the player, to rethink every assumption about what a world even can be.
So it's not just post-apocalyptic.
No, it's almost post-reality in a way. Everything has changed that fundamentally.
That redefinition is key, isn't it? And it all kicks off with this one cataclysmic event, the Verdency.
That's the one, the Verdency. And it wasn't just like a big storm or an earthquake, not a regional disaster. The sources describe it as this: explosion of plant life. So intense, so total, that it literally covered the entire known world in these colossal trees.
An entire planet just consumed by runaway growth.
Pretty much. To the point where the ground, the actual earth beneath your feet, becomes this distant memory, almost mythical, like you said.
So it wasn't just rearranging things.
No, it reshaped reality itself. Created a whole new kind of world, a living, breathing, tree-based sea, an arboreal ocean.
The things we think are normal, like a huge saltwater ocean or continents.
Forget it. In the Wildsea, those ideas sound absurd, like fairy tales, kids' stories.
Their whole frame of reference for a world is just gone, replaced by this canopy.
Exactly. It's truly uncanny how just changing the environment can completely warp perception like that.
And the psychological impact
Yeah.
on the survivors, on the generations born after, it must have been huge.
Oh, immense. Think about it. How quickly would the memory of the old world, the pre-verdant world, just fade for people born into the trees?
It probably happened fast.
The sources suggest it did. A really rapid adaptation, a cognitive shift where the canopy is the ocean. It's their horizon, their whole world. They're raised to see it as something to navigate, to tame, just like old sailors viewed the salt sea. The past isn't just forgotten. For most, it's basically incomprehensible. Myth.
It's amazing how fast collective memory can just
Yeah.
vanish. And it makes you think about values, right? What becomes important in a world like that?
That's a great point. The source material really digs into this. There's no money, not in the way we think of it. So pre-verdant materials, they call it pre-V stuff. That's the ultimate status symbol. Old relics, bits of tech, even seeds.
But not just old junk, but actual marks of elite status.
Exactly. And getting hold of this stuff isn't just hard because it's rare. It's dangerous. The world itself, the Wildsea, kind of resists the old ways.
Like finding an old car deep down in the roots.
Imagine finding something made of pure, uncorrupted steel that could be worth, well, literally an arm and a leg. Or set you up for life.
So pre-V stuff isn't just valuable, it's almost symbolic. Like defiance against the Verdency.
Yeah, a way of clinging to that forgotten past. It shapes the whole economy, salvage, dangerous exploration, barter based on real need, not abstract cash. What you have, what you can do, that's your wealth.
Okay, so if the world is trees, value is relics, money is useless. How do people even move? You can't just build a normal ship for a tree ocean,
Yeah,
right?
you definitely can't. movement itself is totally transformed. They talk about the rustling waves.
Rustling waves.
Yeah, these are literally waves made of branches and leaves, constantly moving because of high-altitude winds, creatures moving around, insects. The books say it's a lot like the old salt sea. Swells, tides, the whole thing. Even if your ship is anchored, it's still swaying. Constantly.
That sounds
unsettling.
Definitely takes some getting used to. And it's crucial to remember it's not just trees. That's a common mistake.
Right. The sources say it's a world of vegetation. Exactly. All the diversity, the glory, but also the danger. You've got ships trying to cut through forests of giant cactus pads, hulls scraping against spines.
Or sailing through mile-high wheatgrass.
Yeah, like a giant prairie in the sky. Or areas choked with fungus that can just suffocate a ship. Or pockets of noxious gas. It's incredibly varied and often terrifying.
It sounds layered, like an actual ocean, but weirder.
Very much so. The sources describe distinct layers, each with its own dangers, its own life, like ocean decks, but arboreal. So on the surface, they call it the thrash. That's where most ships sail, most life happens. It's sunlit, windy, chaotic, relatively familiar, but still dangerous. Things hide just beneath the leaves.
Okay, the top layer, what's below that?
Below that, you hit the tangle. Think dense emerald maze, branches woven so thick sunlight barely gets through. It's hot, humid, half dark.
Sounds claustrophobic.
It is, full of insects, animals, some harmless, some not. Your ship might snag on old petrified wood. You might navigate by glowing fungi. Experienced sailors might call it safe-ish, but it can trap you easily.
And deeper still.
Deeper is the sink. This is where the really big creatures live. And where wrecks end up, caught in this sort of thick biological muck.
Muck.
Yeah, it's treacherous. The branches, the sap, maybe something else. It makes getting back up almost impossible once you go down. Diving into the sink is a serious risk. You might not come back. The pressure starts building here too, not just physical.
Okay, that sounds bad. Is there anything below that?
Oh, yeah. Below the sink is the drown. That's pretty much the point of no return.
No return.
For most, yeah. The branches thin out down there, but the light just dies. Absolute blackness. You're among the colossal trunks of the iron root trees. Huge, ancient things, hundreds of feet across.
Just massive tree trunks in the dark.
Massive, and vast empty spaces between them. Silence, except for maybe the creaking of wood or something huge moving far off. It's described as having this suffocating grandeur.
Chilling. Yeah. And the absolute bottom.
The deepest layer they mention is the darkness under eaves. The sources get cagey here. It says it's the roots of the sea, the bones of the old world, and they mention this mental weight when you dive that deep.
Mental weight. Like psychic pressure.
It sounds like it. Or maybe just the sheer density of forgotten history, all those lost ages buried down there. The game implies diving here isn't just moving through space, it's moving through time, through history, through memory itself.
Wow. That's where the uncanny really hits hard. Familiar ideas, depth, history, but twisted into something alien, oppressive. Is it the old world's memory pushing back? Or just strangeness overload?
It's a fantastic question the setting raises. And this wild world, it doesn't just happen. Something drives it, something powerful and dangerous.
Which is?
Creserine. That's the key. It's this chemical substance, mutative, found everywhere in the leaves, the sap, the air, maybe even the water.
Okay, Creserine. And it does what exactly?
It's the engine. Drives the rampant growth, the hyper-accelerated evolution. It's why everything is so bizarre, so unpredictable, so Wildsea. It fuels the uncanny changes in creatures and plants.
So it's the lifeblood, but you said dangerous. Sounds like a paradox.
It absolutely is. Essential for life there, the reason for all the biodiversity. But get too much. Direct contact with the raw stuff. Very, very bad.
How bad?
Like body horror bad. Skin searing, bones splitting, forms twisting into new shapes, grotesque or sometimes weirdly beautiful, and minds warping, madness, or maybe something else. New kinds of awareness.
Nightmare fuel. But people actually use this stuff, knowing the risk.
They do. Desperation, fascination, maybe both. Alchemists use it, base for concoctions that change the body, better senses, extra limbs, temporary transformations, you name it.
Okay, alchemists, I can sort of see that, but who else?
Mystics. They burn it, inhale the concentrated vapors, trying to commune with the secret heart of the sea, they say. Seeking visions, prophecies, understanding the world's strangeness.
Inhaling mutation fuel for visions. Wow, this constant change, this biological flux. Does it affect how they see truth itself?
That's a profound implication, isn't it? If your body, your senses, the world around you is constantly shifting, what is normal? What's real? What one generation sees as truth, the next might find totally alien. It creates this deep philosophical question: are they adapting or just being warped into something else entirely by the very air they breathe?
Which leads us straight to the cultures. How do you build a society, a daily life, when the world itself is so volatile? When the air can literally transform you?
Well, daily life forces some really unique adaptations. Take fire. For us, it's warmth, cooking, light, community.
Yeah,
And in the Wildsea, it's Armageddon. Fire spreads on that wood like a tidal wave of flame, almost impossible to stop. A single spark can burn for miles, destroy everything.
Co-campfires, total paranoia about sparks.
Constant vigilance. It shapes everything. How they build no open flames on ships and settlements, social customs, everything revolves around preventing fire.
Even smoking tobacco is different.
Yeah, the sources mention it's relegated to these special, heavily built smokehouses, stone walls, super contained, just to stop one stray ember from causing catastrophe. This constant fear must shape how communities work, how people interact daily.
It forces ingenuity, extreme caution. And the economy reflects that too, right?
Yeah.
No money, all about salvage.
Exactly. No cash. It's all about salvage, exploration, and sometimes, disturbingly, blood, meaning the risks you take, the sacrifices made to get something valuable.
And value is old stuff. Relics, seeds.
Pre-V relics, yeah. Heirloom seeds from the old world. Imagine finding a seed that could grow something normal. And curated information. Lost knowledge is power there. Barter is king. Based on immediate need. I need this, you have it, what do you need, kind of thing.
Right.
And since most materials are second, third, fourth hand, big industry is limited. It's all about repurposing, adapting, making do.
And the food. Sounds like an adventure in itself.
Definitely an acquired taste for some of it. Rare vegetables from parasite farms, weird fruit trees feeding off the giant iron roots, meat from insects, fungi, strange grains.
Standard drinks are ale, wine, mead. But then it gets weird.
Then you get the real Wildsea stuff. Blood, tree sap, beast oils, each with its own unique profile. And potential side effects.
Ugh. And the luxuries. What's considered a delicacy?
A flame-cooked meal? Seriously? Roasted meat? Baked bread, something cooked over an actual controlled fire. It's a dream for most sailors. A massive luxury.
Because of the fire risk.
Exactly. That and pure, clean water. Water that hasn't been sitting in a barrel or isn't tinged with Creserine, that's like champagne. These simple things become huge markers of status or moments of sheer indulgence.
Here's where it gets really interesting. A world where an errant spark can destroy miles of forest and pure water is a luxury. You're constantly fighting just to exist.
It really poses the question, how do you build a society like this? When your basic resources and dangers are so profoundly different. It demands incredible resourcefulness, community reliance, specialized skills just to get by.
A testament to adaptability. And it brings us to the people, or beings, living there. It's not just humans anymore, is it?
Not at all. The idea of bloodlines is central. It shapes who you are physically, how you interact socially, creates this incredibly diverse tapestry.
So who are the main players, the core four species?
Right. The core four you see most often. First, the ardent. They're the descendants of pre-Verdency humans, survivors. Forged by hardship, incredibly varied. Some live in the roots, some swing through the canopy, but they all share this perseverance. Tough, resilient, and often quite attuned to the spiritual side of the waves, the echoes of the past.
Okay, humans adapted. Who else?
Then the ectus. Think fibrous cactoids. Tall, generally stoic, determined. They came from desert regions lost to the Verdency, so now many travel the sea, proving themselves. They can often store water internally, which is a huge advantage.
Cacti people. Got it. Next?
The gao. These are fungal beings. Their bodies are really flexible, almost like a colony themselves, shifting form. They have this deep connection to rot, decay, seeing it as transformation, not just death. They often understand the Wildsea's hidden cycles better than others.
Fungal. Oh, and the last of the core four.
The Tselacrae. These are deeply uncanny. Basically, spider colonies living inside human-like skins they weave.
Wait, spider colonies in a skin?
Yeah. Thousands of tiny minds working together to create a single consciousness. They move with this subtle, unsettling coordination. Their mimicry often makes other species distrustful. A real uncanny valley species right there.
Spider colonies.
Okay.
Yeah, that definitely qualifies. And there are newer groups appearing too, the Rising Three.
That's right. More recent arrivals, shaking things up. First, the Ironbound. These are amazing. They're the lingering minds, the souls of wrecked ships.
Souls of ships.
Yeah. They gather debris, bits of hull, whatever they can find, and build themselves a body to escape the loneliness of being just. A drift consciousness. They look mechanical, but the lore says they feel, they learn, they have emotions. They are living history in a way.
Wow. Okay, who else?
The Ketra, also descended from humans like the Ardent, but they got trapped below the Wildsea when the Verdency hit, in mines, deep bunkers, places the roots couldn't initially reach.
So they evolved differently.
Massively different. All that time in darkness exposed to weird energies, maybe concentrated Creserine. It warped them. They often have pale skin, amazing hearing, maybe even echolocation. They carry the weight of being this lost subterranean branch of humanity.
And the last of the rising three.
The Mothrin. They live short, intense lives, determined to pack meaning into their time. They're fast, fragile, often decorated with bright colors, elaborate clothes, a reaction apparently to a history of enforced drabness.
And they have wings. Can they fly?
They have wings, often beautiful, intricate ones, but true flight is rare. More like gliding, elegant maneuvers, not usually sustained flight. Their whole biology reflects their origins and adaptations, just like the others. Each bloodline is a product of this uncanny world.
So beyond your species, your bloodline, you're shaped by your role on the crew, right?
Yeah.
Your skills.
Absolutely. Character creation isn't just picking a species. You choose an origin, your background, culture, then post your job, your niche on the ship, plus edges, general strengths, and skills for specific things you're good at. It's all about weaving you into the world narratively.
And these edges sound cool. Like grace, iron, instincts, sharps, teeth, tides, veils, general strengths.
Yeah, broad areas of competence. If what you're doing fits your edge, you add an extra die to your role. But just as importantly, they add flavor. How you succeed or fail is tied to that edge.
And tides and veils seem particularly suited to the Wildsea.
Definitely. Tides is all about knowledge, lore, understanding the sea's secrets, its history, its weird currents. Veils is about stealth, secrets, misdirection, operating in the shadows, both super useful in a world full of mysteries and dangers.
And the posts, the jobs, they're not just fighter or medic, are they? They seem really integrated.
Totally. Take the Shard, they're the chef, yeah, but also a survivalist and healer. Their main thing is knowing how to cook food to counteract the Creserine. Vital.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
The Corsair is your combat specialist. Weapons, tactics, defense. The Dredger is the one who goes deep into the sink and drown, risking everything for salvage. They come back changed, physically or mentally, by what they see down there.
Facing the darkness. And the hacker.
They literally hack paths through the branches for the ship, using huge saws or axes, facing the Creserine risk head-on with every swing.
Then there's the Mesmer. Mind powers.
Sort of psychic, yeah, reading minds, influencing thoughts. But they also face a lot of prejudice because of their abilities.
And the Screw. Weird name.
They control metal, ferrokinesis, magnetism. It's an old pre-V technique, apparently. They can manipulate scrap, reinforce the ship, move through metallic routes. Really useful.
And the surgeon. Not just first aid, I assume.
Definitely not. They deal with bizarre Wildsea injuries, using weird specimens, fungi, grafts, patching people up after encounters with things that shouldn't exist.
These roles really emphasize survival, exploration, adaptation. Everyone depends on everyone else's niche.
Exactly. It forces collaboration. Each post is essential for the crew, for the ship, which is almost like another character itself.
So you're not just choosing a job, you're choosing a fundamental way to interact with the very fabric of this bizarre, uncanny world. That's a heavy choice.
It really highlights that collaborative core. Your role isn't just what you do, it's part of how the whole group survives and explores.
But living like this, constant danger, weirdness, mutation, it must take a toll psychologically.
It absolutely does, and the game represents that with Myers.
Myers.
Yeah, they're the psychological burdens. Insecurities, phobias, savage urges maybe, represented by these little 2-box tracks on your character sheet.
And you fill them up.
When you face horrors, make tough calls, push yourself too hard, you mark a box, fill a track, and it creates an internal conflict, a character flaw that impacts you. It makes the strain feel real.
So it's not just a health bar, it's your mental state fraying.
Precisely. It adds depth. And it ties into milestones, which are how you advance. Narrative achievements, minor ones for personal goals, major ones for fulfilling your character's core drive.
So facing your Myers, pushing through the psychological strain, helps you achieve milestones and grow. That's clever.
It integrates the struggle into the reward.
Mhm.
And it links to the idea that death isn't just random, it's a narrative choice, something that happens when it makes sense for the story, often tied to these struggles. Myers make the world's pressure feel tangible.
It creates real tension. How far do you push before you break?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have these complex characters shaped by this world, but they need a ship, right? How do you actually sail this impossible sea?
The ship is everything. You are a wild sailor because you have a ship. And yeah, they're not typical vessels. They have hulls, decks, bridges, sure. But the key is propulsion, an engine, plus something called the bite.
The bite. What's that?
That's the part that actually interacts with the trees. The mechanism that cuts or drags or pulls the ship through the branches.
They're like giant saws or claws.
Could be. The sources describe a dizzying array of designs. Saw prows, huge impellers, grinders. Many look completely impractical to us, but they work in the Wildsea. Like living chainsaws tearing through the canopy. Ingenious, really.
And you build your own ship in the game.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. You choose the design size, frame, like sleek or broadwood. The hull material may be tough leviathan bones, stealthy rough bark, or resilient insect chitin.
Then the bite, the side prow, impellers, etc. And the engine.
Engines are wild, too. Chemical compressors burning weird fuels, tamed hives using giant insects, even old jury-rigged reclaimed burners from the pre-V era, which the book warns are liable to explode.
Exploding engines, hulls made of bone. This
Yeah.
is amazing. The ingenuity is incredible, using organic stuff, weird fuels.
Exactly. Fuels like honey, rotting fruits, sunlight, magnetic scrap, processed chemicals, whatever works. Then you add fittings, signal flares, workshops, cargo bays, and armaments, spearing prows, hull harpoons, deck cannons.
And you could even have extra crew.
Yeah, undercrew for basic tasks. Specialist gangs like spearfishers hunting beasts from the deck or magnet fishers pulling up metal, even crane animal packs like lemurs helping out. The ship is totally an extension of the crew, their home, their tool, their identity.
So you're essentially piloting a customized living chainsaw through a tree ocean. What a concept. It just drives home how unique this all is.
It really does, and the way you play reflects this. It's all about the conversation.
The conversation.
Yeah, the collaborative storytelling between the players and the GM, who's called the Firefly here. The rules aren't there to dictate, but to focus the conversation, add consequences.
So you roll dice, but it directs the story.
Right. You build D6 dice pools based on your character and the situation, roll them, and the result pushes the story towards triumph, conflict, or disaster. But importantly, the story always moves forward. Failure creates complications, not dead ends.
I like that. No getting stuck. And they use tracks.
Yeah, visual aids, tracking progress, relationships, ongoing situations, simple boxes you mark or clear.
And actions. How do they work?
When things are difficult, dangerous, or dramatic, you state your intent, roll your pool. Triumph is success, conflict is success, but with a cost or drawback. Disaster is failure, plus a new problem.
Okay, clear outcomes. And the twist.
That's cool. If you roll doubles on your dice, any player can suggest a narrative twist. Add a detail, change something minor. It really makes it a shared story. Blurs the lines between player and Firefly.
That is cool. Collaborative world building on the fly. And cut just makes things harder.
Yeah, represents difficulty. You remove your highest rolling die. Simple, but effective. Makes tough rolls much riskier.
And the game has different phases, like montages.
Right. Montages are for downtime, resting, training, crafting, studying lore. Lets individual characters do their thing without slowing the main plot. Then journeys, actually taking the ship somewhere new. Facing challenges, marking progress on journey tracks. The game stresses journeys are always risky. The Wildsea is hostile. The longer you travel, the more danger you attract.
In combat, how does that work?
It handles exploration, interaction, and skirmishes. Uses abstract zones instead of detailed maps, keeping it narrative. Damage has types serrated, toxin, acid, flame. Creatures and hazards might have resistances or immunities. It's tactical, but still flows like a story. The focus is always on the narrative outcomes and player input. Speaking of the hostile nature of the Wildsea, let's talk about the incredible and often terrifying creatures and unique places you might encounter. It's a world teeming with life, much of it profoundly dangerous.
Yeah, the hazards alone sound intense. Not just creatures, but the environment itself.
Absolutely. Take spores. They're everywhere, especially deeper down. Get kicked up by disturbances, wind shifts.
And they do bad things.
All sorts of things. Some just choke you, some are infectious, start changing you slowly, and some are hallucinogenic, give you vivid dreams, visions of the deep, dark places, blur that line between what's real and what's not.
Constant psychological warfare from the environment itself. And those blanched waves.
Deceptive. They look like solid, stable sections of canopy, safe to cross, but they can just crumble under you. Ship plunges down into the tangle or sink without warning. Terrifying.
Okay, so the environment is actively trying to kill or mess with you. What about diseases? Are they just normal sicknesses?
Oh, nothing's normal here. The diseases are uniquely Wildsea, often transformative. There's gilly. Your lungs start needing the spores and weird vapors to function. Clean air actually makes it hard to breathe. Sufferers often move deeper down, seeking that thick, spore-rich air.
That's a horrible reversal. What else?
Amber blight. Scrapes or cuts start hardening into amber, slowly encasing the limb, turning you into this beautiful, immobile statue. People with it report vivid waking dreams, a weird sense of peace as it takes over. Body horror, pure and simple.
Living statues. Creepy. Any others? Stand out.
Polypoid tendrils, a contagion from old salt sea ruins deep down, causes tentacles, suckered ones to sprout from your skin. Excruciating, starts inside and erupts out. Rare, thankfully, a reminder of the pre-verdant horrors.
This really is a place where you can catch a disease that makes you only speak an ancient language or grow tentacles. Wild. Makes you question what health even means there.
Or the Glyphers curse. Scoreborn. Grows in your brain. You suddenly understand Hyven, this ancient written language, but you lose all other languages. Can't speak to your crew anymore. An uncanny trade-off.
Wow. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it suggests this deep link, right? Environment and inhabitants constantly shaping each other. Evolution and infliction all mixed up. Your perception of reality must be totally warped.
It truly is. And the creatures. The bestiary is just phenomenal. A showcase of Creserine-fueled mutation, biomechanical weirdness, things that feel familiar but are deeply wrong.
Give us some examples. What haunts the rustling waves?
Okay, wretchbeaks. Think vultures, but with manes, naked skin stained with gore. They scavenge, follow death. Their presence is a terrible omen. Some rare ones are even said to eat spirits, just unnerving to even see them circling.
Gross. Okay, what else hunts up there?
Mantid drakes. Huge insectoid things that hunt ships. They have these bursts of incredible speed, then can hold perfectly still, camouflaged, for weeks, waiting for prey. Hyper-patient ambush predators. You might never see them coming.
Weeks. Waiting. That's terrifying, patience. Anything less predatory?
Well, there are triferatons. Majestic flying beasts said to have a calming, mesmeric aura. People actually want them as pets for their influence. Then you have pinwolves, cunning pack hunters, smart tactics, ambushes, and tinker monkeys, little scavengers obsessed with taking things apart.
Taking things apart?
Yeah, their danger isn't aggression, it's mischief. They'll sneak aboard and dismantle your engine, steal your compass. They have a hankering for disassembly, the book says. Furry little saboteurs.
Okay, I love the tinker monkeys. But yeah, that uncanny valley thing is strong. Vultures, mantises, wolves, monkeys, but twisted. Recognizable yet deeply unsettling.
Exactly, and that's just the common wildlife. Then you have the legends, the titans, the leviathans.
Oh, the really big ones. They're real, not just myths.
Oh, they're real. But encounters are rare, monumental events, things people talk about for generations, and they are profoundly uncanny, each in their own way.
Like what? Give us the highlights.
Okay, there's Old Ornail, a titanic squirrel.
A giant squirrel.
Titanic. Its tail can rip ship hulls apart like paper. Just seeing it forces a Meyer check. The sheer unnatural scale is psychologically damaging. Its chittering can induce despair. Familiar animal, horrifying scale.
Okay, giant killer squirrel. Got it. What else?
The Pterapex. Miles long. Its shell is fused with pre-verdant architecture buildings, ruins, sticking out of it.
Buildings on its back.
Yeah. It surfaces every decade or so to lay eggs, and entire communities, shellports, live on its back. Imagine your city periodically diving into the drown for years.
Oh.
Talk about uncanny living arrangement.
Living on a walking historical monument. Wow, keep going.
The white collar snare, a leviathan fox, supposedly so beautiful it hurts to look at, let alone hunt. But it's mesmeric.
Hypnotic.
Yeah, it turns hunters against each other with psychic influence. It avoids direct fights, prefers sowing discord, madness. If you wound it, its pain broadcasts psychically, causing nightmares, despair. Hunts with the mind.
A beautiful fox that weaponizes empathy and sanity. That's dark and terrifying.
Then there's the spirit of industry. This one is chilling. Not really alive, more like a mindless industrial entity. A colossal animated machine complex.
A machine.
Yeah. It pulls everything nearby into itself, trees, ships, creatures, incorporating them into its structure. Its dream to cut the wild waves back creates these huge churning sawmills of twisted wood and metal, relentless, unnatural destruction, corrupted technology as a monster.
The ghost of industrial ambition gone mad. Okay, one more.
The living storm. Literally, a storm cloud with a mind, a vast roiling mass. You can apparently communicate with it, sometimes appease it, but mostly it just brings massive electrical storms, hunting ships relentlessly. Hard to fight, it's intangible. A sentient force of nature's fury.
Imagine hunting a beautiful fox that turns your crew against each other, or sailing into a storm that has a mind of its own. These leviathans perfectly capture the Wildsea themes: ancient history, warped nature, corrupted tech. They're living embodiments of the uncanny.
Absolutely. They show how the setting integrates its core ideas into its most epic, awe-inspiring, and terrifying encounters. And beyond the creatures, the world itself is broken into these distinct regions. Reaches, each with its own flavor of weirdness.
Different zones and different rules, almost.
Kind of. They're pre-made areas in the game that often break the normal rules of the Wildsea. Unique cultures, unique dangers, localized phenomena, mini worlds within the world.
So it's like stepping into a whole new world every time you cross a horizon. So many stories, so many bizarre realities waiting, each one a different shade of uncanny.
Exactly. Take the Foxloft. Known for, well, foxes, obviously, including nasty ones deep down. But also the Seven Walls, huge ancient iron and stone structures, sometimes revealed by rootquakes, pre-V megastructures, and the hunting families there define honor by killing massive beasts. A whole culture around the hunt.
Okay, hunter culture, ancient walls. What about the Icterine East?
Hot, arid region. Giant cactus pads instead of leafy trees. Water is hyperscarce, controlled by the Leech Consortium. Home to ancient Ectus, the Tricenturi, who are centuries old and try to preserve history, though even their memories are fading. Living archives in a dry, dangerous land.
A cactus sea. Cool. And the ambered irons. Sounds ominous.
It's a Leviathan graveyard, but weirdly harmonious. Death and life entwined. Has a golden heart, the glowing, amber-encased heart of a dead Leviathan, a spiritual focal point, nectar falls of flowing amber. And the Wilted, a community who tend the corpses, turning them into gardens. Macabre beauty.
Turning corpses into gardens. Okay, that's peak uncanny right there. What about the interregnum?
Cold place. Defined by leftover mechanical marbles, and the twin-horn cultists who worship and desperately maintain this massive, clanking, pre-verdant warming machine, the tower site engine. They think it might be a god, clinging to old tech for survival and meaning.
Worshipping a giant heater. Desperate times. Last one, Prophet's Fall.
More sci-fi vibes here. Rediscovered pre-verdant tech, often still working in weird ways. The big danger is night echoes, strange signals in the air that can literally rewrite personalities, splinter minds, technology messing with consciousness directly.
Wow. Each reach really is its own little valley in the bigger uncanny landscape. Unique blends of beauty, horror, adaptation, constantly surprising you.
It ensures endless possibilities. Always a new flavor of strangeness just over the next canopy ridge.
So we've sailed the rustling waves, met the strange people and stranger creatures, seen their impossible ships, glimpsed these bizarre regions, from the Creserine changing everything to sentient storms, ships sailing on trees. The Wildsea just dives headfirst into the uncanny. It fully embraces it.
It really does. It takes things we know, sea, land, life, death, society, memory, and presents them in forms that are deeply unsettling, profoundly alien. Makes you question your own definitions.
So what's the takeaway for us listening to this? Experiencing a world where the familiar is so twisted. Maybe the real Uncanny Valley isn't just about robots looking almost human.
Maybe it's about worlds that feel almost like ours, but are alien in ways that challenge our basic understanding. Worlds that make us find fascination, maybe even beauty, in what's profoundly other.
Yeah. It's an invitation, maybe, to explore the edges of imagination, to think about what otherness really means, a way to stretch our own sense of what's possible.
Definitely food for thought.
If you're curious, if you want to explore worlds that genuinely defy expectation, the Wildsea is out there. A truly imaginative journey into the bizarre and the beautiful. Makes you wonder, what other fundamental concepts could be flipped like this? We definitely encourage you to seek out stories, games, ideas that challenge your perceptions.
Thank you for joining us on this trip into the weird and wonderful.
This has been the Uncanny Valley Podcast.